Hey guys, I'm back. I'm sorry for my absence. I just got super busy with the holidays, but I did film this GLAM smoky eye quite a while ago. I just haven't had the chance to edit it. So I just did a really glam smoky kind of get ready with me. Sorry for my voice. I've been super sick, so bear with me. But to start out with, I did prime my face with the One Heck of a Blot primer from Soap and Glory, and then I primed my eyelids with the Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer, and then I like to set that eyeshadow primer with like a cream or a white eyeshadow. Whatever you have works just fine, but I find that my other eyeshadows blend much smoother if I have like a matte base on top of any primer that I use. And then to start with, I'm going to go into the Lorac Pro palette. It's the original Pro palette, and I took the shade Taupe and just started blending that in my crease as a transition shade. Pretty much any like neutral tone brown would work for this. Since I'm using such like stark colors with black and white, I wanted to keep all of my transition shades very neutral. There's Millie in the background. So I just used some neutral shade or brown shades in that palette. I went in with the darker brown. I'm not sure the name of it, but I'll put it in the description bar. And I used that on a more like a denser packed brush to pack that more into the crease, just to define the crease even more. Then I'm going in with the NYX Jumbo eye pencil, and I'm using this as a base for the black eyeshadow I'm going to use. I just have found that using like dark shades like that, it's nice to have a base like this so everything is nice and smooth and not patchy. So this part does take quite a bit of work. I laid down that pencil and then I had to buff it out with my finger and with some brushes. It definitely looks a little crazy, but I promise it turns out okay. And then I'm going to take the black shade in the Lorac Pro palette and lay that right on top of the pencil that we use. And I went back and forth between the black and the dark brown in the Lorac Pro palette just to blend this out and to have it look smooth and not super choppy or anything like that. It did take quite a lot of blending, but I just kept on at it and it turned out okay. When you're doing looks like this that are so intense, they can be kind of intimidating and it kind of looks like a mess to start with, but I promise you just have to stick with it and it will turn out okay. So going over to the other eye, I'm just going to repeat the same process with the black. And for the brushes I'm using, they're all mainly Sigma brushes. I have some Luxie brushes, but really whatever you have will work. You'll just have to learn what tools you have that will work for this kind of look. But again, just be patient and have faith in yourself and just blend, 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 and it will all turn out just fine. Next I'm going to go in with the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade White, and I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my eye and then blend the two shades together, and this is again going to be a base for the shadow I'm going to use next. This is a dramatic look, and so I purposely wanted it to be dramatic. That's why I'm using two totally opposite shades. I think it turned out really well. Next, the shadow I'm putting on top of that is Stila's Kitten eyeshadow. I used my finger to put that down, and then I just went in and kind of blended the edges between the two shades so it's more of a gradient effect. And so you, again, just want to go back and forth and blend to get it how you would like it. Next I'm going to go in with the NYX Matte Black Liquid Liner and draw a pretty sharp wing. I just run it along my lash line and then I flick out the wing and fill it in. I've been thinking about doing a tutorial just strictly on how I do my winged liner, so that may be coming soon. Okay, now I'm going in with foundation. iMovie has quit on me 4 times now, so I have recorded this now for the 5th time. So let's see if it works out. I'm using the Smashbox foundation. I don't know the name of it. I'll link it down below. It's their newest one. And I'm in the shade 0.5, the lightest shade possible. And I'm just going to use a beauty blender to blend this out. Seriously, nothing beats a beauty blender in my mind, and I've tried multiple different options. As for false lashes, I'm using the Eylure and Vegas Nay lashes. I know it's the one in the purple box, that's all I can remember. But any GLAM lash that you have will work totally fine for this. Now I'm setting my forehead with some Coty Airspun loose translucent powder. I get some pretty serious forehead creases, so I like to set my forehead as soon as possible. Then I'm using the NYX, I think they call it a Wonder Stick for contouring. It's just a cream contour. I blend that out with my beauty blender as well. And then to set it, I will go in with the NYX HD High Definition Blush in the shade Taupe. It's the only thing I can find that is a good contour shade for me because I'm so fair. Most other contours on me just come out way too orange because I'm so pale. So this is what works, and I've been using it for a really long time. So I'm just going to set the cream contour with the powder contour with the Luxie contour brush. And then I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer, and I'm in the shade Fair. I just put that under my eyes and blend it out with the beauty blender as well. And then I'm going to go in with my Coty Airspun powder and set the rest of my face so it's all smooth and seamless. I've been using a damp beauty blender. I use the Morphe sponge to actually apply powder to my face, and I love the way it looks. I think it just looks so flawless. I love it way better than using a brush, and it also prevents the powder from flying everywhere like it does when you use a brush. So next I'm going to go in with the Benefit Hoola bronzer. This is just an e.l.f. I think they call it a blush brush, but I use it for bronzer. And I'll just go in and kind of carve out anywhere that I think needs a little bit more warmth. I know it looks crazy now, but trust me, it'll all work out. And then I'm going to clean up that contour with some more translucent powder just to make sure it's all nice and crisp and clean. And I'll just let that bake for a little while. For the lower lash line, I used a black eyeliner for the waterline, and then I just went in with the dark brown and the black eyeshadows that we used on the lid to buff out that lower lash line. And then I also put mascara on the lower lash line as well, but you can't see it. Now for blush, I think I used the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the shade Prim. But really any neutral shade would work totally fine with this. Since you're using such neutral colors on your eyes, I would stick with a neutral blush. And for highlight, I'm using the Ofra Cosmetics Beverly Hills Highlights. For lipstick, I'm using one of the new Maybelline matte blushes. I believe this is the coral one, but again, or not blush, lipstick. Again, I'll link that in the bottom bar. I think this shade was a little too light. It was lighter than I thought it was going to be, so I did end up going over it with a little bit of a darker shade. And I do really like the way it turned out. Now I just need to wipe away this powder, and we are completed with this look. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.